Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we are diving deep into a really fascinating product conflict. We're looking at the North Face Base Camp Voyager 29 roller bag. Now, this is their carry-on. It costs around $280, and it tries to take that, legendary rugged fabric from the classic Base Camp duffel and put it on wheels. So the question we're tackling for you today is pretty simple. Does the reality of this bag actually match North Face's promise that it's built for, and I'm quoting here, constant transport around the world?
Well, and you can see why they'd say that just looking at the specs. I mean, the foundation on paper, it just screams durability.
Right.
You're talking about a 94-liter bag made with few hundred D recycled polyester. That D is for denier. It's a measure of toughness.
Okay.
It has a TPU laminate, so it's waterproof.
Okay.
And on the back, you've got 840D ballistic nylon. So yeah, it looks like an absolute beast on the shelf, built to just shrug off mud and rain.
That shell sounds basically bulletproof.
Yeah.
But what's the immediate trade-off you see for all that roof,
Chuggedus.
the wheels?
The wheels, yeah. It's the wheel system. I mean, this is fundamentally a two-wheeled roller, not one of those modern four-wheeled spinners.
Right, which is what dominates the market now, like Away or Samsonite. With this, you're back to tilting and pulling.
Exactly.
But wait, couldn't that be intentional? I mean, maybe a two-wheel design is just inherently more durable, fewer parts to break off on rough ground.
That's a great point, and maybe that was the thinking, to keep that rugged feel. But it creates a really awkward value proposition when you look at the competition.
How so?
Well, at $280, it's sitting right next to, say, the Away Bigger Carry-On, which is $275. That one has 4 spinner wheels, and this is crucial, a lifetime warranty.
Ah.
So with the Voyager, you're sort of paying a premium for that duffel name, but you're missing basic features competitors have, like, better internal pockets for separating dirty clothes or shoes. It's stuck in the middle.
And here's where it gets really compelling, because the consumer data we've seen is just wildly contradictory.
It's all over the place.
On one hand, you have these reports of the bag surviving just absolute abuse, like grueling trips to Nepal, coming back looking like it's been sanded down, but it just cleans right up.
Shrugging off baggage handlers.
Exactly. And then you get the total opposite. Critical reports that all seem to point to one single, really unexpected failure point.
Big internal frame.
The internal frame. Multiple reviewers are saying the frame either bent or just snapped after only a few routine commercial flights.
Yeah, and that's the key. The ultra-durable shell, the part that's supposed to survive a monsoon. It can't hide that internal weakness.
We even saw one review where after the frame failed, the person was reportedly just dismissed by customer service. They went on to say they wouldn't recommend this bag to their worst enemy.
Yeah.
Which, that kind of comment, it really points to a huge mismatch.
It really does. That failure pattern, it suggests the frame buckles under a very specific kind of stress, the stress of commercial aviation.
You mean like getting thrown into the cargo hold?
Exactly. The quick, heavy impacts over and over again.
Yeah.
Loading and unloading. That is a fundamentally different kind of strain than, say, dragging it through mud or rain, which is what the tarpaulin fabric is built for. The material can handle a trek, but the structure can't handle the repeated cycles at Chicago O'Hare.
So if the frame is failing under just routine airport stress, where did that leave you, the buyer? I mean, the core takeaway seems pretty clear.
It is. This is not luggage that was engineered for a frequent flyer who needs that spinner agility and, organization inside.
So what is it then?
It's expedition gear that's been adapted for wheels. It makes total sense for an outdoor enthusiast, someone who flies maybe a few times a year to a trailhead and needs a bag that can handle cobblestones or dirt way better than a lightweight spinner ever could.
But if you are that frequent business traveler, the person navigating an airport every single week,
Yeah, for you, it's a completely different story.
you're paying extra for this adventure durability you'll probably never use while giving up the easy maneuverability you absolutely need.
At the end of the day, the choice really just boils down to assessing your honest use case. It makes you ask a question, doesn't it? If a bag can handle jagged rocks, but it repeatedly fails under the normal standardized stress of commercial aviation, then for whom or what kind of world travel was that internal frame truly designed for?